As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Angelo Blackson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Jackson flush to his right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those to improvise and get the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Touchdown, Houston! 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the three-point shot. And people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
And now Baltimore gets set to Important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. He decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. Third and 2, Watson. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next, and rightly so because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has gotten together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
Call it a loss of 8 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson forced out to it. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds. So they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually. And they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it, and they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Let's go.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play real.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Matt Judon in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. To throw is Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And with that incompletion, you know, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston, and now we'll have to go on the road to play them again in week 17. So I would say, on the surface, you would think Houston. They have the quarterback as well in Deshaun Watson that scares everyone. But I'm picking Tennessee as the team that could go deeper because of their defense. That's really a top 5 defense on any given Sunday. Their ability to rush the passer, their ability to play the ball in the air. I like that Tennessee team, and I think Ryan Tannehill.
Now it's Jackson, flushed out right. He'll try and run it. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 15-yard line.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this with both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 15-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 to make it the 40-yard line.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. That race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams, Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in. Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite? It could be anyone, right? It could be Seattle. It could be San Francisco. It could be New Orleans. I know Minnesota's probably going to come in as a wild card. Green Bay will come in as a division champ, it looks like.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted-for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. Boy, that got pretty close to disaster. Going for 2, you cough it up. They almost returned it all the way to the other end for 2 for themselves.
You think electron ball security is in order here? Because and it's not just taking care of it, it's what you just talked about. What can result when you don't take care of it? They almost gave up a score.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Charles, as the Texans get the ball back here, I want to discuss their season. It's been kind of some good, some really good, and then some bad and questionable. But under Bill O'Brien, he's in his 6th year. They've had 9 or more wins 5 times now because they've reached that plateau this year. Is this team one, though, that can make a run in the playoffs, or is it just going to be another exit in the playoffs?
Well, the problem that they run into is oftentimes they win their division, but and
for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But now
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Watson, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Money looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Likely time for just 1 final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. So we've come to half. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up
starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw is Jackson, buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Whitney Merciless, his 2nd sack of the night.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Throwing is Jackson. Being chased out left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. Now Jackson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat.
They'll run here with Ingram. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 6-yard as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Tucker with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. That time a 6-play drive, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Watson. They'll roll him out right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. And I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
Right. Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it. But I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Steps, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
Eluding the pressure right. He may try. Touchdown, Ravens. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Tucker now to add the point after. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Let's bring it.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Carlos Hyde taking it in. And the Texans cut into that lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down. This running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there, and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards. Jackson now. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 6-yard touchdown run as the Ravens push further out in front.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
I'm coming.
The ball comes out. And the Ravens have got it. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the...
And I think the ball's out, and that is going to skip out of bounds. So a break there for sure. They'll hold on to the possession at the 5-yard line. Looking to throw. Jackson flushed out right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
The penalty is declined.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Able to push his way through. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
Let's go.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Back to throw, Watson, flush to his right. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I'm here all day. Double time.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. And he'll find Akins there. Complete. Fighting his way through contact. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Texans get a bit closer. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, That kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really, the ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Give him 10 that time. It's danger running with it and picking up a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Rob on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson flushed out right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 26. On 1st down, buying time to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. The ball comes out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it, escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.